Right, hello everyone, this is ProductShard, and today we're just going to be going over the patch notes for the 12th of March. Going to go over the main ones that, well, at least in my opinion, are the main ones. Start with feature improvements. Well, actually, before this, I will just say, like, most of it kind of seems the same as the other ones that they've been, or there has been. There's a few weird ones, but basically I don't see any difference from this to other ones, other than they actually are like starting to address some issues by repeating things which they've tried before and hasn't really worked out. But feature improvements, the COD, there's stuff to do with COD casting, but the main one is background downloading has been enabled for Xbox 360. I don't know whether that means like when the next DLC comes out. Normally you put it on download and you're not allowed to like go on any games at all. But now I assume you can start it downloading while playing. Might run a little bit slower, but means you don't have to go away for 2-3 hours depending on your internet speed. And come back, you can just sit there, play for the evening, and it should be done by the end. Which is a nice little improvement. I don't know whether that was on Xbox's side, or Microsoft's side, or whether it was actually Treyarch. Because that seems a bit of a weird thing for them to be able to just enable on the Xbox. For PS3, I've no idea. I'm looking at the Xbox patch notes at the moment. Then multiplayer stuff, there's just loads of stuff to do with issues that have been resolved, little glitches, stuff like claymore bouncing, just making sure a few things. The executioner's accuracy is now fixed. It now won't show 0.02 accuracy. It should be more towards the 1% range, something like that. So they've fixed that. But onto the main things, gameplay balancing, well at least this is the most important thing for me. Got some weird things going on, but start with spawn system improvements. They've reduced some weird stuff to do with coding, which means the spawn should be better in domination. They've added more spawn points to hijacked for demolition and kill confirmed, which means less spawn trapping, which I guess for some of you is going to be very annoying. You snipers out there who like to just feed off people spawning. And they've adjusted some spawns in standoff, so you can't trap people on demolition as easily on that, because that was another one where if they were down to like one bomb and you were spawning in the same place, they would just be able to kill you over and over and over, and you would have no idea what to do. But SMGs, MSMC and PDW both have recoil being increased, and their hipfire accuracy has been slightly reduced, which means it actually gets wider. So thank God for that. Treyarch are actually starting to realise that they are just a little bit overpowered. I've seen a few people playing with it today, and the MSMC definitely has more recoil. That's very visible. But the PDW not so much. I don't know whether that's because it just has more ammo, and so you can kind of control the recoil a bit easily, or a bit more easily. Or whether the iron sights just don't show it quite as well. But the MSMC definitely, they don't actually give you numbers here. It just says it has been increased, so the PDW might have been increased by 0.01 and the MSMC by like 5% or something. So they don't actually tell you, but they are doing something, or at least making it look like they're doing something. For pistols, the cap 40 dual wield damage has been reduced, which is very, very odd. I mean, if you were going to reduce one of them, it would be the B23Rs, because they are so much better. But yeah, the accuracy has also been reduced, so don't use cap 40 akimbo anymore, because that's somehow been nerfed. Which definitely makes me very concerned at what the hell they're doing, or what people are getting angry at, because the B23R definitely gets more and more people angry compared to the cap 40. That's just a standard gun. Attachments, the MMS, now cold-blooded people can't be seen on it, which used to be kind of annoying because you had cold-blooded, you couldn't be seen by anything, and then a guy with an MMS would kind of look around a building and they'd see you lying down in the corner. But now cold-blooded renders enemies almost completely invisible. LMGs, the QBB and the hammer, the medium range damage has been increased, which is really nice. Compared to the MK and the LSAT, they definitely were not quite as good, but hopefully that should increase kind of usability of them. and they should become a lot more fun to use rather than just getting owned by all the other ones. But I could see if they start doing that, and then maybe these two become a little bit more powered than the LSAT, then they're going to increase the damage of the LSAT and keep going like that. They kind of need to start reducing damage rather than just increasing damage on basically everything. It seems a bit weird. For assault rifles, the FAL and the SMR with select fire, both with select fire, the damage has been reduced when firing fully auto. Then this one's very odd. The Type 25, if you're using this, your movement speed is increased. I don't know if that means your player movement speed or like the looking around movement speed. That's just it. I've never seen that as a problem. I don't really notice that it's any different to any of the other assault rifles, so that's a bit strange. But the medium range damage on that has been increased. The long range damage on the SCAR has been increased, so you should be getting more 3-4 shot kills, I guess. And the SWAT, the long range damage has been increased, which they've already reduced the time. Like they've reduced the burst delay. They seem to have reduced the damage and reduced the recoil and increased the damage of that before. So that seems a bit strange that they're doing that again. Then for shotguns, the M1216, the medium range damage has been increased, which also happened in the last patch. And snipers, the ballista and iron sight's idle sway has been reduced. There are some zombie stuff as well, but because I don't really use it, just exploitable things in Die Rise. And Green Run and network issues, they have all been resolved. So hopefully if you play zombies you can now no longer exploit it and become very high level. Then also something which hasn't been mentioned in here, but I do know, is, well, at least I think I do, it's not on here so I'm not too sure, but apparently they mentioned it that they're actually bringing in microtransactions into the game, which is really stupid. No one do them, no one buy them, it's completely useless. But it's for like more camos, more custom classes and stuff. You'll be paying 160 Microsoft points, I think they said, which is like £2 every time, which really is a bit pointless. But I do have a little clip of it, and it will be going up now, which they do have coloured reticles on the like selecting the reticle screen, which I think is just genius. I mean, it was so annoying before. Well, not so annoying, but you always thought like, oh, I want a blue reticle. Well, which one is blue? And you'd kind of sit there thinking about it, and then you'd get a red one, and then you'd have to wait the whole game, and then you'd forget to change it, and then it would take ages. But now it's all colourful, and it's really nice. And that just brings a bit more colour to the game. So thanks for watching. That's the patch notes for the 12th of March, 2013, for Black Ops 2. And I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, or this was helpful in any way. And I'll see you next time.